Ciao everybody, Caterina here. Welcome to my kitchen. Well, tomorrow I'm having my beautiful parents for lunch. And like I always say, I thank God every time I'm able to say those words. And for dessert, I'm going to be preparing my papa's favorite dessert, and that is Zeppole Di San Giuseppe. But before we start with this wonderful dessert, I want to thank Julia, Lorenzo's beautiful wife. It was an absolute sheer pleasure to have her with me up in Tuscany. She was a doll and I can't wait to have her back. Now let's get started. We're going to start with the custard filling first for this dessert because it has to be refrigerated for 2 hours. So we're going to start with that now. Okay, with the mixer, I have 1 cup of refined sugar. Now I'm going to add 6 egg yolks, one at a time, while the mixer is going on. This is a lovely, lovely custard. Now I'm using medium-sized eggs, and I would really recommend that that's what you use for this entire recipe. 2/3 cup of 00 flour. I'm going to add 2 cups and 2 tablespoons of whole milk. It does have to be whole milk because you need the fat content, so the custard will be nice and thick and creamy. Don't skimp on the milk. 2 pinches of kosher salt. 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. Okay, I'm going to add 2 pieces of orange rind. And I'm just going to let this mix until I see no lumps or bumps or anything. It has to be really smooth. I'm just doing a scrape down. You want to make sure that nothing has settled at the bottom. Everything has to be nice and smooth. Okay, it's nice and smooth. Okay, now I'm just going to put this in my pot, turn the heat up to medium heat, and just stir until it's the thickness that I like. Okay, use a whisk very similar to this one. This way the cream cannot stick to the sides of the pot. And I'm just going to keep stirring until it thickens and a light bubble appears at the top of the cream. Okay, this is the thickness that I like. I'm going to remove the orange rind. I have all that wonderful essence in my pastry cream. I'm going to add 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla, but I'm adding the clear vanilla because I don't want it to discolor my custard. A teaspoon of orange flower water. My pastry cream is wonderful. It's the exact texture that I want. Later on, we're going to add a little bit of whipping cream just to soften it up. Delicious, beautiful. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to cover it with plastic wrap, just so that you don't get that horrible film on top of the pastry cream. And in the refrigerator, it's going to go for at least 2 hours. Okay, now we're going to start with the zeppole. We're going to start with the puff pastry. It's basically a choux paste. We're going to start with 1 cup of purified water. To the 1 cup of water, I'm adding 1/2 cup of unsalted butter. Now we're going to wait for the butter to completely melt. St. Joseph's Day is on March 19th. And he was a patron saint. And in Italy, these Zeppole di San Giuseppe are fried. Now you can fry them if you like. Those are the traditional zeppoles at 375 on both sides until they're golden brown. But I prefer them baked. And St. Joseph's Day in Italy is considered Father's Day. And that's why they prepare these wonderful desserts for Father's Day. And they keep it up right through the Easter season. They're my father's favorite. Here's the orange rind, the leftover orange rind from the 2 pieces that I used in the cream. Give this a good mix. 1 teaspoon of granulated sugar half a teaspoon of kosher salt. I'm going to add 2/3 of double zero flour, and I'm just going to mix. Mix, 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 mix. It's going to come together. Turn off your stove and just allow the flour to cook. When you see this film at the bottom of the pot, you know that your paste is ready. I'm going to allow this paste to cool for approximately 5 minutes. My choux paste is inside the bowl here and it's cooled down quite a bit. Now I'm going to start adding 4 eggs, but one at a time. Preheat your oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. I've just put the 3rd egg in. It doesn't look like it's going to come together, but believe me, it will. Okay, you see how wonderful it came together? Now I'm going to add the final egg, the 4th egg. Okay, my paste is ready. Here I have a disposable piping bag with one of these tips that have the pretty little teeth. This is what I'm going to be using. You see how nicely it all came together? This is what you want. You want your paste to look like this. I placed a tablespoon of water underneath my parchment paper. This way it'll hold it down. Before I put my pastry inside the pastry bag, I made a little knot here so that it wouldn't go through. Now I'm going to release it and I am going to push this down. I have these little circles. I'm just going to go around twice. That's it. You can make them bigger if you like or smaller, but I find that this is a really good size. It couldn't be simpler. I'm just going to add a little more water to the bottom of the parchment paper just to keep it down. Now, in the oven at 425 for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, I'm going to lower the temperature to 375 for an additional half hour. Okay, my little buns are ready. All I'm going to do now is I'm just going to pierce them in the side, all of them. Okay, now that they're all pierced, I'm going to put a wooden spoon in the oven, leave the oven door open like this, and I'm going to let them dry for an additional half hour. Okay, they've cooled down in the oven for half an hour. Now I'm going to leave them out for 1 hour. So this is what they look like. They're completely ready and they're ready for the custard. I'm only going to do 3 today because it's just for us to taste. This particular pastry is very nice to do an hour before you're going to be serving it and no longer than that. I'm going to fix these for you. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them. Serrated knife. See how beautiful? I'm going to prepare a little bit of whipping cream to add to my custard, just to lighten it up a little bit. Here I have a 1/3 cup of whipping cream. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of icing sugar. Okay, I'm just going to give this a really good whip. Okay, so here's the whipping cream. And I'm just going to add the whipping cream and give it a good mix. It'll lighten it up a little bit. Okay, so it's loosened it up a little bit. It's nice and creamy. And now we're ready for piping. So we're just going to pipe pastry cream inside. You can put as much or as little as you like. Okay. Okay, I'm going to do it the traditional way. They always put a little bit of cream on top. They look beautiful. Okay. Traditionally, they put cherries. You can use any cherry you like, maraschino cherries, dried cherry, whatever you like. I have these that are packed in syrup and I just love them. And I think I'm going to put 2. Okay, now the only thing we need to do now is just add the icing sugar, and we're ready to taste. How beautiful. So I'm just going to cut down the center. Look how beautiful. Now I'm just going to taste it for you. Delicious. Absolutely delicious. I want to wish you all a happy St. Joseph's Day, happy Father's Day, and a wonderful Easter to you all. It's Katerina from my home to yours. So I have my beautiful parents here for lunch, and for dessert I made my father's favorite dessert. It's called Zeppole Di San Giuseppe, and we're gonna have espresso. But my father wants espresso corretto. What's espresso corretto, Pa? A little bit of cognac? Yeah. Oh, that's very nice. Ma, did you want caffè corretto?
Okay, a little tiny bit.
A little tiny bit?
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
And how much you want to
Of course, take it.
Okay.
Okay, taste. I want to know. I want to know the truth, Pa. What do you think?
It's wonderful.
Wonderful. Very delicious.
Yeah. Very delicious.
Very, very, very delicious.
Yeah.
Oh. Very, very delicious, Ma.
I think you too will have it.
Yes, very nice. Yes. Good, I'm so happy. Enjoy.
Salud. Buona fortuna.
I will make them for such a salad. I'm going to make them forever.